What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Mock Draft Monday episode. A little bit later than I usually put them out. I try to hit these up first thing in the morning. Went and saw Spider-Man this weekend. Not that you guys probably care, but that kind of ate into some of my recording time. So we're doing this a little bit later here. Going to drop a little bit later on a Monday night. And I'm going to attack this mock draft a little bit differently. I went through and I ran 20 random drafts on draftnetwork.com. They have a cool little tool that allows you to run mock drafts. I did just a quick 5-round mock draft. Ran it 20 times to get kind of a consensus on players on where they were going to go. So I'm going to show you that here in a second. And then I'm going to kind of do just a 1-round rookie SuperFlex mock draft based on those landing spots. So I'm going to throw that graphic up here in just a minute. Let's jump in and do our Campus to Canton rookie mock draft 2.0. All right, so as you can see here, I've got the first and second round up ready to go. And I did 2 rounds just to kind of give a list of players that you guys are going to see here in a minute of players that I could pick through. And again, so I ran 20 random mock drafts on the Draft Network. Is based on their needs and how Draft Network has these players rated. Kenny Pickett went at the 10th pick overall in the NFL draft to the Eagles. Matt Corral went to the Washington football team. Sam Howell to the Steelers. Chris Olave to the Saints. Jameson Williams to the Bills. Garrett Wilson at the 21st pick to the Dolphins is the first pick I really don't like. I love Garrett Wilson. He's my second-ranked wide receiver in this rookie class. I'd love for him to end up with the Browns. There's a lot of mocks that have him going to the Browns. I don't know that I love the Dolphins landing spot for him. Love all the other ones. I mean, Pickett to the Eagles is iffy to me because I don't know if they move on from Jalen Hurts. If they do, though, I think he'd be a great fit there. Then you get Traylon Burks to the Chargers, maybe one of my favorite picks. Kenneth Walker to the Cardinals. Jahan Dotson to the Buccaneers. And Drake London to the Chiefs. A lot of places mocking Drake London to the Chiefs. Those are the only players to go in the first round for offensive players. Into the second round, this was the very interesting one, right? You guys watch, you've heard me talk. I'm a big fan of Desmond Ridder. The first pick in the second round, he goes to the Houston Texans. If he goes there, guys, I'm telling you, a lot of people have been giving me shit because I've said if Desmond Ridder gets good draft capital, he's going to be a guy that you might be able to buy. If he goes there, I'm sorry, I think he's better than Davis Mills. He might end up being a starting quarterback in the NFL, and I think he's got some upside, especially if he's able to go out there and at least play good against Alabama here in actually just a couple weeks. That playoff game happens with Cincinnati versus Alabama. Cincinnati versus Alabama. So going to be a very, very good game. George Pickens goes in the 5th pick in the second round to the Giants. David Bell with the 6th pick to the Chicago Bears. This one was a little bit different because I don't know for sure if John Mechie comes out, but he is in the system, so I just left it. If he does come out, they've got him going as the 8th pick in the second round to the Jets. Malik Willis, and again, this is randomized mocks in the not just the best, but like an average landing spot for them. So Draft Network does not have him going in the first. There was, I think, out of like the 20 I ran, it was like 7 of them that he went in the first round. 210 to the Saints, though. The 10th pick in the second round. I actually don't think that's a bad landing spot. Neither is the next spot either. The 12th pick in the second round. Carson Strong to the Falcons. Xavier Hutchinson, the wide receiver, out of Iowa State, with the 19th pick in the second round to the Colts. With the 21st pick in the second round, Zach Charbonnet to the Chargers. Not a fan of that landing spot at all. With the 25th pick in the second round, Isaiah Spiller to the Falcons. Great landing spot. And then with the 28th pick in the second round, Zay Flowers to the Patriots. Again, averaged out over 20 mock drafts. So, again, I'm just going to do a first round draft here for you guys. Mock Draft 2.0 brought to you guys by Campus to Canton. As you can see, there are my 12 spots. Just wanted to do a quick little video for you guys. Maybe I'll do another one of these if you guys like it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so that you guys are made aware when any of these videos go live. We just did a ton of freshmen, get to know the freshman profiles. When the new year hits, we're going to have rookie profiles, freshman profiles. We're going to continue to do these mock draft episodes. We're going to have some rankings discussion stuff, a lot of Campus to Canton stuff. I mean, there's going to be a ton of content dropping on this YouTube channel. It has become a big priority for us. We were so busy trying to get the website up this first year. We really want to drive some content to the YouTube channel. So that will be coming this off season. So hit the bell icon and give us a like as well. That obviously helps us out as well. It makes our videos more viewed. We'd appreciate that as well. So let's jump in and do this first round mock. I mentioned it's a super flex mock. So for me, right off the bat, I'm thinking quarterback. these are the 6 quarterbacks that were in the 2 rounds. Again, Matt Corral to Washington, Kenny Pickett to Philly, Sam Howell to Pittsburgh, Desmond Ridder to the Texans, Malik Willis to the Saints, and Carson Strong to the Falcons. All 3 of those in the 2nd round. And if I'm sitting here with the 1-1, there's 2 quarterbacks that I'd seriously be thinking about, and I'm going to take Matt Corral here with Washington because I think he ends up likely getting that starting job. I know Taylor Heinicke's been really good for them. I should say really, but he's been good. They're in the playoff race. He's been playing well. But Matt Corral can do it all. He's not only a rushing quarterback, he has all the arm talent in the world. I'd be very curious to see what that offense can do with him. They've got a lot of pieces around him. Antonio Gibson, can Curtis Samuel stay healthy and be on the field? Let's hope that Logan Thomas is able to come back, but that'd be great. Great news for Terry McLaurin, right? Having a quarterback there like Matt Corral, if they can, if De'Ami Brown can maybe get back into the fold here next year, they draft another wide receiver at some point in this draft. Like Washington is on the up. Matt Corral, I think, is a good fit for that offense. He would be the top pick for me. Then it comes to the next pick, and I think some people might go Malik Willis with the Saints. I mean, realistically, that's a great landing spot. I think Sean Payton developing him, possibly able to sit a year. You've got Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, possibly for one more year there. Again, I mentioned Desmond Ridder in Houston. Carson Strong in Atlanta. Arthur Smith has really had the Falcons playing well this year. I think he's almost like a Matt Ryan clone, too, if I'm being 100% honest. Maybe a little bit better of a deep ball thrower. And then you got Kenny Pickett to Philly. That's the most interesting one for me because I don't know that the Eagles move on from Jalen Hurts. I mean, that game is going to happen now tomorrow night. They're still in the playoff race. Hurts has gotten better and better. He's barely played a full NFL season. I'm very curious to see what ends up happening with Hurts and Pickett there if Pickett does go to the Eagles. And then the big favorite landing spot was Sam Howell to the Steelers, which I think is an amazing landing spot, and that's what I'm taking. Give me Sam Howell. I mean, this kid is phenomenal. I think he's got the best floor out of all of these quarterbacks in this draft. And as a Browns fan, as much as I hate to say this because I really dislike the Steelers, they are a great organization. They develop wide receivers well, and I think they do a good job with quarterbacks. If Sam Howell were to end up there, they'd have to improve their offensive line some. But Sam Howell's got experience playing behind a shitty offensive line. He did it all this last year in North Carolina. I think he could easily be that decade plus quarterback starter for this Pittsburgh Steelers and continue their run of playoffs. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. They just always seem to get the best out of their players. I think Sam Howell would go in there from day one and be the starter because we hear all these rumors. Big Ben keeps talking about this is it for him with the Steelers. Not saying he's retiring, saying this is it with him for the Steelers. So if that is the truth and he's done with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think Sam Howell could go in there, be a perfect replacement. I know some people don't like him. I've comped him to Baker Mayfield. Obviously, Baker in the division. A lot of people don't like Baker. I think Howell's got a little bit more upside than Baker does. Better arm, a little bit more mobile. So we'll see what that does for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But again, I think if he goes there, he would be my second pick in a SuperFlex draft just because of the safe floor and the upside of that offense as well. Because again, Claypool there, Deontay Johnson, and the way they draft and develop wide receivers, I think could help him out. You've got Pat Freiermuth at tight end and Najee Harris as a great overall running back there for the next couple of years for Sam Howell. He would be my 1-2. That then puts me on the clock at 1-3. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, if he does go to Philly, I like some of the weapons there. They've got Devonta Smith. What do they do at the running back position with Miles Sanders? Dallas Goedert signed long-term. I think Kenny Pickett's a good pick here. Again, Malik Willis is in the conversation here for me at 3. But I think if they take Pickett, they're clearly taking him to be the starter. Superflex, you get immediate value with Kenny Pickett. We saw what he was able to do this past year with Pitt, really year and a half. He was really good last year too. And he's a guy a lot of people are predicting to be the number 1 quarterback taken off the board. So if he is taken to the Eagles, I think they have nothing but expectations to him to play. And I think you can't go wrong with these top 3 picks in a Superflex format. So that puts me at 104 now. And you just saw the graphic. I'm going to put it up now. I'm thinking running back here. And this is just my personal strategy. If I see those 3 quarterbacks go off the board, maybe you go Malik Willis here. But I'm thinking, all right, there's a couple running backs. We saw Kenneth Walker go in the first round here. And then Zach Charbonnet and Isaiah Spiller went in the second to the Chargers and the Falcons. I want a running back if I can get him, especially if I believe in them, to build my team around. Because usually, likely at 104, you probably don't have really great running backs. Maybe you're missing a quarterback. Whatever it is, I love to get a young running back that I can hopefully bank on for their rookie contract. I don't care about anything after that. I want that rookie contract, and because of that, I'm taking Kenneth Walker. He is, I think, going to be really good at the NFL level. Going to Arizona, I think there's a shot for him to immediately go in there and produce. James Conner, 1-year contract. Chase Edmonds, he's been doing it in a committee with Conner this year. Kenneth Walker can go in there, I think, and be the one. We saw what James Conner can do. I think Kenneth Walker is better than Conner, even if they leave Edmonds there to be the receiving back, which is fine. Kenneth Walker could eat in this offense. And the big thing for me is if he gets that first round draft capital, he's got that 5th-year option for a team to pick up. So you have a chance to have him for 5 years. I don't really care if they end up re-signing him. When I look at running backs, I'm looking at him at a 4-year window. And so that is why I'm taking him. That puts me up then at 1-5, and I'm still thinking the same thing. If I'm sitting here at 105, there's a lot of wide receivers I really like in this draft, so I'm thinking, okay, I probably can get one of those guys coming back around to me in the second round, maybe some of these quarterbacks, especially because all those other guys went in the second round. A Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, Carson Strong, they were second-round draft picks. Even though that is still okay draft capital for a quarterback, you want them to get that first-round capital. So I'm taking a running back here again, and for me, it's going to be Isaiah Spiller. Going to Atlanta, they've got Cordero, which might hurt his value a little bit, but Spiller is much better than Mike Davis. We've seen Mike Davis has become a nothing burger there. I think they want a running back that they can trust to kind of just pound the ball. Patterson, really good, going to be a really good receiving back. Now, don't get me wrong. Isaiah Spiller is a really good receiving back as well. He's made some catches in college football that you would think he played wide receiver at some point. But I think going there with Arthur Smith, I'm not going to say he's going to be their Derrick Henry, but I do think they'll lean on him a little bit. He's a really good running back, so give me that guy. Because I'm going to be honest, Zach Charbonnet, I don't love the landing spot. Austin Eckler, I know he's been injured here and there the past couple seasons, but he's a great runner and a great receiving back. I don't know that Charbonnet beats him out. They just re-signed Eckler this past offseason to I think it was like a 3 or 4 year contract. So Eckler's going to be there for at least 2 more years. I don't know that I love the landing spot for Zach Charbonnet, so I'm taking Isaiah Spiller there. That puts me up at 106. This is when I start to think about wide receivers. Again, I still think Malik Willis is in the conversation, but I'm going wide receiver. And I put the top 8 guys. There were 12 that were drafted on that graphic that I showed earlier. There's really only 8 guys that I'm considering in this range. Chris Olave to the Saints, which I think is a great landing spot for him. Same thing with Jameson Williams going to Buffalo. Garrett Wilson, I mentioned earlier, I'm not a big fan of that landing spot there for him to go to Miami, but I think he'd be the one. And if they do keep Tua, or if they bring in Deshaun Watson, that could be gangbusters for him. My favorite of all those is Treylon Burks to the Chargers. Mike Williams out the door. Keenan Allen there aging. Justin Herbert being paired with him. How do you not go Treylon Burks paired with Justin Herbert? My God. That dynamic duo for the next probably, I'm going to go ahead and say decade plus, because Treylon Burks, if he goes there and balls out with Justin Herbert, Herbert ain't going anywhere. The Chargers likely keep Burks there the way they've kept Allen. My God, that would be a dynamic duo moving forward. So that'd be my pick at 1-6. And so then at 1-7, I'm doing the same thing. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to take another one of these wide receivers. And you got Drake London going to the Chiefs. Great landing spot. I think he gives them something that offense doesn't have, in that real possession threat, contested catch guy that you can even attack down the field with. You got Tyreek Hill, that speed threat. Travis Kelce's aging a little bit. Great tight end. David Bell going to the Bears, I think could be a good match there, especially with Justin Fields. Pickens to the Giants was an interesting one for me, but I think, pair him with Kadarius Toney and possibly, they'll probably move on from Evan Ingram. My biggest thing is I don't even know if they'll do it quarterback. Is Daniel Jones still the guy there? I don't know. And then Jahan Dotson to the Buccaneers with Chris Godwin likely moving on. Mike Evans aging. Tyler Johnson there. Antonio Brown, will he be back one more year? There's a lot of questions there. So I am going to take Drake London to Kansas City. And I feel like this is a CEH thing all over again, right? Like someone goes to Kansas City, we shoot their draft stock up. No, Drake London right now is currently my wide receiver 3 behind Treylon Burks and Garrett Wilson. And it's so close to me. Like, Burks is probably the only guy that's a little bit separated from the rest, if I'm being honest. The rest of these guys are all kind of grouped together. I have 4 guys in my tier 1, and they're all so close that landing spot matters a little bit. I'm going to be honest. I like Kansas City's landing spot a little bit more. That's what bumps him up here for me over the next guy that I'm taking is at 1-8. I'm going to go the next best wide receiver, and that's Garrett Wilson to Miami. Again, maybe this changes. Tua, I think, gets a little bit of a bad rap. He's played good, but he hasn't played as great as Burrow and Herbert, which I think is why he gets hated on a little bit. But if they do get Deshaun Watson, I mean, that might be wheels up for Garrett Wilson. It'd be hard for me to jump him over Burks because, my God, Justin Herbert and Burks, dynamic duo. But I think he could be in the conversation there for that. And then that puts me at 1-9. And I'm still doing the same thing. I'm looking at wide receivers. I don't know that I want Charbonnet. Again, Malik Willis comes right back into the conversation here, and I'm thinking, do I want to take him? Do I want to take Carson Strong in Atlanta, who they've looked really good, likely moving on from Matt Ryan? So do we even talk a little Desmond Ridder here, who has a chance to beat out Davis Mills and be the quarterback for the Houston Texans? But I'm going to take Jameson Williams, and I'm going to tell you why. Kid was phenomenal this year, right? Bets on himself, leaves Ohio State. They're telling him, hey, just stay one more year, stick it out. You'll be the guy in 2022. He says, no, F that. I'm leaving. I'm going to Bama, of all places, and I'm going to show everybody wrong. And he did. In my opinion, should have been the Biletnikoff winner. Remember what? My goodness, his name just jumped out of my head. But John Brown, I'm sorry. We're not editing this, guys. We're keeping this live. John Brown was able to do with the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen a couple years ago. They don't have that. We all wanted that to be Gabriel Davis. It's not. Jameson Williams goes there. I think he could be that deep threat for Josh Allen. Wheels up. I think wide receiver 2 easily moving forward. Jameson Williams, like I said, bet on himself. He showed out at Alabama, and they had him going in the first round to the Buffalo Bills. If he goes the first round Buffalo Bills, I think he has a chance to be what John Brown was for fantasy. He was a wide receiver 1 at times. I think he finished most times as a wide receiver 2, taking out the injury, of course. Jameson Williams can be that in a heartbeat for the Buffalo Bills. So give me him at 1-9, and I can see the argument for him over Wilson in London. I wouldn't do it, but I can see the argument for him. All right, that puts us up at 110 here, and I'm still thinking wide receiver again. Will is still in the conversation, but I'm going to take a wide receiver, and I'm taking Chris Olave, and I think a lot of that just goes to the Saints need a wide receiver. Olave can do it all. He can play well in the short game. He's a deep threat, really good at creating that separation. And we know that Malik Willis is probably going to be the quarterback of the future. And we've seen when those guys get open deep, Malik Willis can hit them. Even if it's Jameis Winston for one more year, I like what Olave can do in this offense. Again, it's pairing him with Sean Payton. So I love that aspect. I'm taking him. That puts me back up here thinking quarterback, and I'm finally going to do it. I'm taking Malik Willis. And I think if you do get Malik Willis here, it's an absolute steal for you at 111. It's a great pick. You take him. And I'm betting on Sean Payton here, and that's why he fell a little bit for me. Second round pick, like if he gets that first round draft cap, I think he's an easy pick earlier in the round. But you're betting on Sean Payton being able to develop him. Does he sit a year? Probably what's best for his development. But we've seen what Sean Payton's been able to do with Taysom Hill in that offense and make him a viable fantasy quarterback. And Malik Willis has a 10 times better arm than Taysom Hill. Malik Willis with the Saints would be an extremely interesting pick. And I would not be surprised if he goes much higher. I could see people taking him at 1-4. But I think with the second round draft capital, some people might be a little scared or shaken and maybe let him fall. And so then that puts me up here at 112. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm taking my guy. I'm taking Desmond Ridder. Going to the Texans, I think he has a chance to easily beat out Davis Mills. I think he's the better quarterback than Davis Mills. I'm just going to be honest. Now, he might not be great for fantasy. He might not, but he has the legs. He's an easy strider. He can run. He's got a decent arm. He'll have Brandon Cooks there. Do they get another wide receiver? We'll see what they're able to do there. This is a team that's not going to win the next couple years. But again, if you're in a C2C league and you have Desmond Ridder and he goes second round to the Houston Texans, you've accrued capital. If you take him and he's a starting quarterback, you've accrued capital because any starting quarterback in the NFL in a SuperFlex league is immense capital moving forward. So I'm taking him there. Again, I'll show you guys the board here one more time with those guys. I mean, in the conversation from here at 212 was Carson Strong going to Atlanta, and I don't have any issues with you taking him over Desmond Ritter there. Bell to the Bears, I think, was a really good one. And then a lot of people might think Zach Charbonnet to the Chargers might be a good thing for me. I don't love the landing spot there. So that was it. Nice, quick, easy first round rookie mock based on that. I'm going to try and do more of these. If you guys liked them, let me know. Hit that like button. Comment below if you think I took a player I shouldn't have, who you would have taken somewhere. And if you like that, if you like me randomizing 20 rounds, 20 different drafts. It was like a 5-round draft, 20 drafts on NFL Draft Network. Just Draft Network, and then putting together the consensus rankings and then doing a mock draft off that. If you like that, let me know. I'll bring some of the other guys on and we'll continue to do those as well. Again, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button and hit the bell icon so you know when all of our videos go live. We will continue to have Mock Draft Monday episodes every single Monday. Guys, enjoy the day. We got a couple NFL games, bowl games kicking live, and it is Christmas week, so I will not get a chance to talk to you guys again before Christmas. So everybody, have a Merry Christmas. I hope you're able to spend it with your family and have an amazing day. We will see you guys again next Monday for another